He must not.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Brand new week, so we've got a brand new bingo card for you. When you get bingo filled out, either across, down, diagonally, then you call us. You'd be the first to call. 888-900-3393. And you win fabulous prizes selected especially for you. You win $30 worth of merchandise from PatGrayShop.com and a dozen Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. Starts in the upper left-hand corner with En Fuego.
Yeah, hold on, Joe. You do not have this graphic, correct? So just hold it up to me. I'll hold this up here. Ta-da!
Then we've got Jeffy. What are you gonna do? Why are we showing the bingo card?
Because he doesn't have the graphic, so we're having to hold it up for folks to see.
I see.
Normally it would be up on the screen, but
okay,
this is old school now.
All right. We've got Gates, Matt Gates, I guess. Be offended? No, we don't have that. So hopefully we'll have that. Okay. Making the apocalypse fun. Also, Gadon the American saying,
pull every last one of your soldiers, spies, security advisors, trainers, attachés, and so on.
Hairdressers, and so on, and so forth.
Don't forget this is also
etc.
pinned to the top of Pat Unleashed if, scribbling what I'm holding up here isn't doing it for you.
Kids in cages. We've got President Collapsed Bridge.
Oh, yeah, that's the John Fetterman clip.
Apparently we don't have that just this second, but we will. Keith.
Nailed it.
Then the party horn.
Which Lance also has.
There it is.
Oh, boy, there.
How about that?
So exciting.
Jeffy saying, yeah, but Trump. Fauci with, I represent science. Apparently we don't have that either.
Lance has got...
I represent science.
There it is.
These on back order in Lance's room there.
Casting aspersions. I'm not doing it. But in Europe, then you got Biden talking about the train across the...
We have plans to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean.
So great.
I'm not riding it.
Keith.
Broken record Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Which will come into play today, I'm sure.
Good. This from Cardinal Joe Tobin.
I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
Jeffy with hoity-toity. We don't have right now, but we're looking for this as well. The John Fetterman thing. I don't think we have this. Do we have this? Quick, fast as well, too.
Again, on back order down the hall there.
Everything's on back order right now. What are the odds? We actually have two squares that say En Fuego.
Yeah, we got it. It's a double shot of En Fuego. Oh. Yeah.
All right. Then I sing like Eddie Vedder.
Okay.
Jerry spoken. It sounded a little something like that.
Spot on.
Don't be the first frog.
Oh, Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's good.
Then Keith saying,
I can't read it. What does it say?
Non-hypothetical, hypothetical.
Oh, non-hypothetical, hypothetical. There we go.
And we wept. I wept.
Openly.
No. As a man, I wept openly. All right. So that'll be a fun bingo card if we ever find, the actual corresponding audio. Then it'll be great.
Yep.
And that'll be a fun week. We got some amazing news though. The Sound of Freedom, the Jim Caviezel movie about the life of Tim Ballard. And
this is the movie that I heard all weekend was
a, let me guess, it's a QAnon movie.
QAnon adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's QAnon adjacent because Jim Caviezel has expressed, I don't know, similar thought. I don't know.
He's said so he believes some of the things, I think. He's talked about some of their conspiracies.
Why ask yourself, why
Now everything he's in
Yeah.
is going to be QAnon adjacent?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
No. Actually, what the deal is, Pat, is that when you make a movie about sex trafficking of children,
Right.
then you find any reason you can to object to it if you don't have a problem with the sex trafficking of children. These people have showed their true colors this weekend.
It's unreal. And just the blistering reviews from people like Rolling Stone. Did you read that review?
No.
Despicable. Just absolutely despicable. And one of the, they're all the way through. They're doing the Caviezel thing with the QAnon. And I'm thinking, what does this have to do with this movie?
Exactly.
The entire review. What are you talking about? Who gives a rat's ass? And then finally at the end, he says something like, with all the problems in the world that we have to face. And then he names some of them like climate change and climate disasters and whatever. I'm like, okay, so because there's other problems in the world, Tim Ballard and Jim Caviezel shouldn't be talking about child sex trafficking?
It makes you wonder why the resistance here.
I know, it really does.
Methinks you doth protest too much.
Wow.
Don't stand between a pedo and his kids, man.
Well, there's several problems with this, as I think we all understand. One is they hate Jim Caviezel because he's conservative. Mm-hmm. Two, they hate Tim Ballard because he's conservative. Three, they hate the studio it comes from because they're, at least they're religious people. And they can't stand that. Mm-hmm. They cannot stand it. Angel Studios, I'm sure everything they do is going to be attacked. I'm sure everything Tim Ballard does is going to be attacked.
At the very end of the movie, if you stick around in the theater, you've got the message from Jim Caviezel, who says, it took them 5 years to try to get this movie
right. That's right.
I guess released after it was created.
Right.
And you thought, man, that's something else there. And here we go. You see the reviews and all the online chatter about it this weekend. What did it end up making again?
It made since it came out, it's made $40 million. $40 million. It cost $14 to make. $40 million. It was the number one movie on the 4th of July. Number one at the box office that day because it made $14.2 million on the 4th of July. Beating Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So, it also out-earned Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny for the week per theater. So if you're doing the average per screen, it averaged $6,172 to Indiana Jones $5,761.
So if it had
amazing?
Same distribution,
it would have beaten it money-wise.
That is so cool. Well,
number one was Insidious, The Red Door. So, horror movie. I don't know. Is that from Jason Blum too? Is that from Blumhouse? I think it might be. But so that was number one. Indiana Jones, kind of number two, and then Sound of Freedom, number three. For the weekend, it was $18.2 million, and since it came out on Wednesday, $40 million. Just incredible.
And that's with the pro-pedo machine aiming all of its guns at this movie.
Directly at this movie.
Because, heaven forbid we have a movie about a guy whose life mission is to rescue children from sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Hey, have we done a review on that yet?
Who wants to bludgeon this movie? Because we can't have it. Can't have it.
Unbelievable.
We can't have people thinking good things about a guy who rescues children. That would be horrible. By the way, I think I asked the question. Did I ask the question on the air, or has it been off the air? About whether or not that one scene is real?
I think
where he kills a guy.
Asked it was on the air? Yeah, we asked it on the air.
They address it on their website, so it is not true. He did not kill a guy, which I didn't think so. But I don't know. I thought maybe he just doesn't talk about it. I don't know. But if I killed a guy and I had gone in to rescue somebody like that alone and had done what they portrayed him, I think I'd talk about it.
Yeah.
I think I'd talk about it a lot.
That was me.
Yeah, I think I would. But we're going to talk to Tim, right, on Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Is that still happening? It's still on like Donkey Kong? All right. Yep. So we'll be talking to Tim Ballard about a lot of these things. I mean, he's got to be amazed at just the bludgeoning he's getting from the left for no reason. There is no reason for it. They keep calling it a faith-based film. Where was the religiosity in that thing? I didn't see any.
No,
if they were promoting religion, I don't know what it was.
No, there's one moment, right, when he says that God's children are not for sale or something like that.
Oh, what a horrible line. Oh, how dare you get into my face like that. Whoa, back off. God's children are not for sale. Oh, man. Thanks for pummeling me with your spirituality.
Boy.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic. So, just a real shame. But it overcame all of that and then some. So, when it tripled its budget in the first weekend, then the first week, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Really awesome. Also, over the weekend, Donald Trump was out campaigning, and he had some things to say, of course, about Ron DeSantis, as you may imagine.
3 years later, they said to him, "Will you run against the president?" And he said, "I have no comment on that." I said, "He has no comment. That means he's running." I said, "That son of a bitch is running. I got him elected." So I'm not a big fan of his, and he's highly overrated. He's highly overrated.
I just don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't either.
What are you doing?
It's it's not an either or. You can both run,
right?
You can both run. If you think he's highly overrated, just beat him. Beat him in the campaign, in the contest.
And if you think he's highly overrated, then why do you live in his state, bro?
Yeah, there's that too.
You could move anywhere else you want to. I think you have the means to do so. And he's up, I think, 32 points I saw in a Fox poll over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like...
something about
he's acting
DeSantis.
More concerned than maybe he should be if he's up 32.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know.
It's weird.
You got to stop, man. Stop.
He's got a thing now. There's a loyalty thing with him. And I think he feels like he's been betrayed. And so he goes after DeSantis whenever he can. In Iowa, he showed up at a Dairy Queen where he passed out blizzards to everybody.
The Trump we like.
Yeah,
yes.
This is good stuff.
This is awesome. I love this.
Anybody want one back there? We know you're president right now, Trump.
That's good stuff. I mean, why can't we have that Trump? Why do we have to have...
Right.
That son of a bitch is going to run against me. It's just...
Yeah. I mean, the other Trump is a little bit petty.
A little bit petty, yeah.
This is fun.
This is fun Trump.
This is good stuff. This is fun Trump. This is the Trump that everybody knows and loves. And who doesn't like ice cream?
Who doesn't like ice cream? Chocolate chip. I mean, this moment right here dwarfs the Biden chocolate chip moment. Ramaswamy. All right, we're good. Thank you. He is surging, by the way. He is. I forgot how close he was to DeSantis in another poll I saw. So
closer than last week when he was at 10%?
Yeah.
Is he in the teens now?
I don't know. I think he was within a few points of DeSantis. I think was the point of the poll.
Wow.
Not what his numbers were, but it's like DeSantis was dropping in this poll, and that gap was made up by VR.
Wow.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. So
I mean, I like him a lot. And I also like DeSantis. And I also like much of what Trump does. But, so I don't know. I think we've got some good options this time, as we did in 2016. And Trump just destroyed the field. So I don't know if that's going to happen again. It sure looks like it. It's already happening. But will they be able to narrow that gap? I don't know. We'll see.
Job number one,
we'll see.
Get rid of the old man in the White House.
Yes, absolutely. Any one of them, of course, would do a better job than Joe Biden. Meanwhile, he was on vacation again, where he has spent 40% of his presidency so far. 40%.
Yeah, look at this. This is...
Oh, we get to see him with his shirt off. What a treat.
Nearly
for us.
falling over, trying to adjust that chair. Oh, there's the look, baby. There's the look. Get that suntan. Check that phone.
If you're Casper Ghost white like that, don't take off your shirt and show the world. No.
I mean,
don't do it.
How can you expect someone would be videoing him? I mean, it's not like he's the president of the United States. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh, and here he is.
We are logging some mileage on those shoes. I mean,
he can't move like he once did. That's for sure.
That's the symbol of America right there, y'all.
Oof, that's really bad. Just awful.
Gosh,
man,
so embarrassing.
And as Tim Young pointed out, Donald Trump was at the UFC event in Las Vegas.
Look at the compare contrast. Look at this.
Here's Joe Biden.
There's Trump's weekend, and there's Biden's weekend. I love it.
They're not that far apart in years.
I know.
In years. But look at the difference between the two of them. It's night and day. And I saw a headline on Drudge over the weekend. They were trying to make it out like Trump was slurring his words and was, I don't know, loopy. I think that's what they called him. Loopy Trump tries to... Are you kidding me? I never see that headline with Joe Biden, and he does it every day. There's evidence. Every day.
Wow. I missed that. Where did they say he was loopy?
One of his
UFC?
speeches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of his... Not at the UFC.
Okay.
There was a rally or a speech he was giving someplace. I mean, it wasn't... And then they even outlined the words that he used, and I watched the speech, and he screwed up a couple words and corrected them immediately, not like Biden.
All right.
I kept that as...
Well, the other nation reformed. The lithium will power components it's going to be being made in redwood minerals. We're going to be talking about the pandemic. Those who succeed. And Flex is working with Midland's Technical. We need to provide access to preschool for 3- and 4-year-olds so they get the classroom ready to learn. He's tough, he's loyal, he's principled, and he let me. I'm going to tell you something.
What?
That's not only create 300 permanent jobs. He's investing $279 million. Companies across the county. Across the country. By the way, the program is still there. Go to anyway.
That's just from the weekend, by the way, or last week.
I think it's fair to say he nailed it.
Oh, he did.
Every one of
without
those.
question. Nailed it. So bad.
Oof.
So bad. And it's every day. It's every day, in every way. The guy looks like he's cognitively declined.
81 million votes.
Yeah, right.
America, you wanted that.
Exactly right. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? What an amazing fact. Ick. Miracle Made, though, offers a whole line of self-cleaning and eco-friendly bedding, like sheets, pillowcases, comforters, and they prevent 99% of bacteria and require 3 times less laundry. Just really luxurious comfort and luxurious quality. Miracle sheets are so comfortable without the high price tag that comes with other luxury brands, and they feel as nice, if not nicer, than the bed sheets used by some 5-star hotels. These are designed for your skin. You can stop sleeping on bacteria. That's nasty.
That's a good tagline.
Yeah. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Upgrade your sleep right now with Miracle Made. Go to miraclemade.com/Pat. Use the promo code Pat, and you'll claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40%. 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Pat to treat yourself. Trymiracle.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So let's go back to the night of July 4th. Last Wednesday night at the White House. This video has been circulating now.
I was just thanking.
Pull the audio down. Pull the audio down all the way. We don't need that.
Who's groping him right now?
Right, that's the question.
What is that?
I have not seen a definitive answer on this.
Really?
Yeah, so...
Looks like a young girl. Is that his, like, one of his granddaughters or something, probably?
No, but that family
it's kind of
is
weird.
So
they are.
Weird.
They are weird.
With the touching.
Yes.
And the looking and the sniffing. And the showers.
Yep.
And the groping.
All too familiar with one another.
What is happening? There's not a family member I have that I would do that with.
No, or that would do that to me.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, my word.
Ooh, you look so good.
And he doesn't even skip a beat.
Sure.
Of course, granted, I mean, he's
swimsuit.
completely out to lunch.
Yes.
Staring in the sky.
And he's not coming home for dinner.
Yeah.
I think we know that.
I mean, you would at least look behind you, right? Like a normal person would be like, huh,
like,
who's back there?
Hey, how you doing there, hon?
He doesn't even acknowledge it.
No.
But again, that could be because he is so cognitive and disability here.
Right.
So.
Right. It's bizarre.
That is very weird, man. But,
And then on Friday, Karine Jean-Pierre tried to seem disgusted. The press was asking if the cocaine found on Sunday at the White House belonged to the Biden family.
Because remember, she spent all week, Pat, saying, we're not going to address that. Yeah, they weren't here. We're not going to address that. You know, I'm not going to address that. I mean, that's her standard line for everything. That's why it's so pointless to watch her stupid press conferences. But then Friday, she thought she had some information where she could go out and be bold and really answer this question and really stick it to the press for even asking if it was the cocaine belonged to the Bidens.
There has been some irresponsible reporting about the family, and so I got to call that out here.
Call it out.
And I have been very clear. I was clear 2 days ago when talking about this over and over again. As I was being asked a question, as you know, and media outlets reported this. The Biden family was not here. They were not here. They were at Camp David. They were not here Friday. They were not here Saturday.
They were.
They were not here Sunday. They were not even here Monday. They came back on Tuesday.
So
to
lied.
ask that question is actually incredibly irresponsible.
Oh, God.
And
I can't believe it.
I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. I'm not going to because Hunter Biden was at the White House on Friday. He was there on Friday. He wasn't there Saturday or Sunday, but they found it on Sunday night. That doesn't mean he didn't leave it.
Yeah.
He could have left it on Friday, and they didn't find it until Sunday.
Not a lot of people have access to that very secure area of that very secure White House.
Right.
But, I mean, this is from June 30th, from Friday, at 6:34 p.m., Joe Biden, baby Beau, and Hunter Biden climb into presidential SUV. This is a pool report. President Biden followed a few minutes later, motorcade rolling
6:30 p.m.
to Fort
on
McNair
Friday?
as of 6:34 p.m.
My gosh.
So I think, you got all your stuff.
Gosh, she's a lying sack of crap.
You've loaded up the family van, before you head out of town, and then you get halfway down the road, and you're like, oh, crap, I left my crack back or whatever, fill in the blank. You leave something back there in the foyer or whatever, or in the garage, and that's sitting next to the minivan. That's exactly what I think happened here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just say we weren't there. If they find it and it gets out, we weren't even there. Okay.
And so, I mean, the Secret Service doing their job and going through the White House, see it, and then it becomes public. Radio traffic gets out, and then the next thing you know, KJP trying to cover for the indefensible here.
Yeah, but she's been very, very clear on this.
It's been irresponsible reporting. I got to call it out. Shut up. Where were you a few days ago?
Bad. So, have you seen the viral video circulating of Joe Biden getting up close and personal with a little girl?
Oh, gosh.
So creepy.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. You're good. Let me whisper a secret.
Whisper a secret.
Get out of her face. douche.
Don't tell mommy what I told
Look
you.
at this.
Whoa.
Golly.
Don't tell mommy what I told you.
Okay, that's very creepy.
Oh, you're recording. Not good at
Okay. He's just so creepy.
Yeah,
he's so weird and so creepy.
A couple of things on that. There's a version going around where you hear the audible. Okay, that wasn't a part of that. I'm not saying that he wasn't sniffing whatever, shampoo the little girl had in her hair.
Right.
But it wasn't as audible as that version that's been going around. And I'm going to pull a Jeffy here for just a moment. As creepy as all that was, getting too close to the kid. Play it again, please. Getting too close to the kid, saying, don't tell your mommy what I told you. Go ahead and play this again, please.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a creep. He's a pedo. That's what he is. Okay. Oh, so this does have the sniff in it. Oh, it does have the sniff. Okay.
That's funny.
I thought we didn't have the sniff version.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, but now watch how he's staring there. Now people are like, see, I think he thinks they're taking a picture. Because then she goes, oh, I'm recording. Oh, okay. I thought I was, waiting for you to take the picture.
Okay, yeah. That's probably true.
But still.
I
would never let that man anywhere near any child.
Nope. No, thank you.
Gross.
He gave a speech at the White House on Friday. Apparently, the microphone recognizes how terrible he is.
Sorry.
That's funny. That was good.
I'm a significant consumer, and my family has as well. But
all right.
Thank you. The microphone tried. I mean, it was trying.
It did.
It was like, look, I know what this speech has got planned for you, and you don't want any of this.
And he's brought back the whisper now, which is it's one of the worst things he does. I mean, there's so many bad things. It's hard to determine which one is worst.
Yeah.
But this is really, the whisper thing, it creeps me out and it pisses me off.
Pat, this is a twofer.
And, all right.
This is a broken record Biden moment. So you get whisper.
Right, and the bottomless lie.
Yes.
All right, let's see it.
all the talk about I'm a big spending Biden, I lowered the deficit. $1.7 trillion in the first 2 years.
No, you didn't.
No one's ever done that.
Yeah, including you, douchebag. You lying sack of garbage. Why does he keep saying it when even his liberal cover has been removed from him? Nobody is saying, yeah, Biden's right, $1.7 trillion. Everybody says it's a lie and a bottomless lie, according to the Washington Post, because he keeps saying it after it's been disproven over and over and over. He didn't lower the deficit. We stopped spending emergency money on COVID-19. Man, it just enrages me. It enrages me. He also sat down with CNN on Sunday and Fareed Zakaria.
I don't know if we have time for this one here.
Asked him about his age. We'll get to this in... is this too long to play here?
Too long to play here, but there's a lot of stuff from this speech that we get to go over because apparently he's ready to start World War III.
Well, yeah, I think he is. Why? Well, that would be a great distraction for Americans from the garbage job he's doing here domestically. Wouldn't it? I mean, nothing unites people around a president more than war. Is there anything that unites us more than that? I don't think so.
Timing out nicely for a 2024 election.
This could absolutely be the plan right now. It better not be, but it could be. He might be dragging us into World War III just so he can be reelected. Man. Despicable. These people are just absolutely despicable. All right, we'll get to Fareed Zakaria asking about his age, which is amazing if he actually did. And apparently he did. We'll find out how that went. And lots more coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393, the number to call. You can see the show anytime. YouTube.com/Pat Gray. Pat Gray Unleashed, of course, is where to go. Pat Unleashed on Twitter, Instagram, and appearing now on Threads. We're on the ground floor of Threads.
Eesh. We got to talk about Threads later.
Yeah? Is it bad? Is it turning liberal already?
Oh, bro, it
started liberal. I know.
Wait till you see.
It's got tens of millions, I read, already. Is that right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We got some ground to cover with Threads later.
Okay. And yet, we're there anyway. Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Pat Unleashed. Also, leave a podcast review on iTunes for us, if you would, please. 5 stars is definitely appropriate. And you can check out the podcast anytime you want. blazetv.com/Pat. And then for our Friday shows, we're always looking for ideas for what conspiracy you'd like us to tackle, look into, talk about. We do the conspiracy show on the last Friday of every month. And if you've got an idea for one that you haven't heard yet, go to conspiracies. Just email us at conspiracies@theblaze.com. Conspiracies@theblaze.com.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you've missed any previous conspiracy shows, just go to YouTube and type in Pat Gray Unleashed. And then we've got the moon landing. So type in Pat Gray Unleashed moon landing. It'll come up. Pat Gray Unleashed Oklahoma City. The truth behind the bombing there. And then Pat Gray Unleashed Flat Earth. So those are the 3 we've done so far. We've got Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 coming up at the end of this month.
That one's fascinating because we still don't really know what the deal is. All right. So Joe sat down on Sunday just yesterday with Fareed Zakaria on CNN. And I know what you're thinking. Fareed Zakaria is still on CNN? What? That's
good place for him.
Yeah. On Sunday, on the weekends. And I think that's it, right? They just banished him to the weekend show. And here he is sitting down with Joe, and they talked a little bit about his age.
You've often said when people ask you about your age, just watch me. And I think a lot of people do watch you and are impressed, and they think you've been a great president. You've brought the economy back.
Oh, my gosh.
You've restored relations with the world. But many of these people do say, and these are ardent supporters of yours, the next thing he should do is step aside and let another generation of Democrats take the baton. Why are they wrong?
Well, let me say, not very wrong. It's, look, to use the phrase again, I think we're at an inflection point.
We're at an inflection point.
I think the world is changing, and I think
so get out.
There is one thing that comes with age if you've been honest about it.
Wait for
life, and that
what
is
comes with age,
wisdom.
Pat?
Wisdom.
And he's the cat to provide it.
And
wisdom.
Don't forget, dementia can also come with age and has.
Yeah.
It's come in spades with him. And what a garbage question, too. A lot of people believe that they have watched you and you've done a great job. You brought back the... What are you talking about? He's done a great job?
Yeah. So did you notice there? Just Joe, play just the first few seconds of this clip. Watch Joe looking down. Okay, so play the clip here and watch him.
You've often said when people ask you about your age, just watch me. And I think a lot of people.
He's looking down. Okay, that's all I need. That's all I need. Wonder what he was looking at. Any guesses, Pat?
I don't know.
Was it a cheat sheet?
Oh,
look at this.
I'm sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
Look at his cheat sheet. It's so pathetic. You can read what it says on there.
Yeah.
It's got his talking points. He's looking down for his answer, which he just provided for us. Inflection point. And then I think it said great danger. What was the other thing? It's on the right-hand side, scribbled out there.
Yeah,
inflection point.
And great opportunity.
Great danger and great opportunity. Got to make sure to mix those talking points in, so let me look down here at my notes.
Wow. So that's a pretty good indication that either somebody's psychic on the Biden team or the questions were submitted in advance in order to do this interview with him.
CNN?
Yeah.
You think CNN would be in bed with the Biden administration?
Pretty sure, yeah. Based on the question that was asked and the way it was asked, yeah. Yeah, definitely. They're in bed with him. That's amazing. Jeez. All right, so now when it comes to ammunition in general.
Okay.
Listen closely to what Biden said over the weekend about the supplies running low for the Ukrainians.
We're in a situation where Ukraine continues to be brutally attacked across the board by munitions, by these cluster munitions that had dud rates that are very, very low, very high, that are in danger to civilians.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, the Ukrainians are running out of ammunition.
Oh, boy.
The ammunition that they call them 155 millimeter weapons. This is a war relating to munitions, and they're running out of that ammunition, and we're low on it.
Oh,
and so what I finally did, took the recommendation of the Defense Department to not permanently, but to allow for in this transition period where we get more 155 weapons, these shells for Ukrainians, to provide them with something that has a very low dud rate. It's about 150.
So we're sending cluster bombs because we're running out of munitions. Like the Ukrainians are running out and we're running out. So
that is what he said, right? That's what I thought he said.
That's why we're sending cluster bombs. Now,
okay.
So he sat down there, I think on Friday, and this aired on Sunday. Okay. So let's go ahead and play the other clip, though. I think I'm going out of order here, and I'm sorry. But when he was on Friday, because he's got the same suit and tie on, this is in his mind. We are running out of munitions. We can't provide. This is dangerous for our country. Screw Ukraine. I'm talking about us now, man. Listen to what he said when he's walking out and someone shouts a question about Ukraine and arming them with more ammunition. Listen to this.
Mr. President, any update on the cocaine? Mr. President, on cluster munitions. Why now?
We're running out of ammunition.
Because we're running out of
out of ammunition. So we're sending them cluster bombs? That's the excuse?
That
is bizarre.
Because
first of all, if we're running out of munition, stop sending them stuff. Yeah, if we're running out, I'm a little more worried about us than whether or not they have enough. Let them worry about whether they have enough and go get it somewhere else. Stop sending them ammunition. My God.
If you're an enemy of this nation and you hear that repeated by the President of the United States.
Yeah, it's the time. It's the time to move.
I mean, this is serious. This is no longer...
It is.
Here we go. A non-hypothetical hypothetical. We're here. We've got the President of the United States admitting, we sure have been extending ourselves over in Ukraine to the point where, we're out of ammunition too.
That's just incredible.
It is.
That is incredible.
And then we got...
It's hard to believe he admitted that, isn't it?
This is what happens when you have a dementia patient.
Yeah,
there is a little bit of a good thing there. In that,
because his governor's gone,
he's speaking the truth.
Yeah,
and we know this. Oh, but Raytheon, did you see that? They're having to call in retirees now to help produce Stinger missiles. They haven't had an order since the Carter administration, and they're like, "Hey, maybe we can get some people in here that remember how to do this."
Wow,
I mean, this is insanity, man.
They haven't had an order from the Defense Department.
I thought that was weird
since
too.
the Carter administration.
Isn't that strange? We just had a big stockpile, but not anymore.
Since Carter. Obviously we haven't been shooting down a lot of aircraft. I guess, did we destroy the Iraqi air force before they even took off? I think that was part of the issue there. In the Gulf War, I think we destroyed a lot of their stuff before it even got off the ground.
It's the blueprints are from the Carter administration. No orders in over 20 years. So stand corrected on that.
Still, that's a long time. Yeah. That's a long time. Wow. That's amazing.
But remember we talked about...
I think it's javelins now they use. Is it?
I think that's right.
Yeah, that might be why. Let me have you picture for a moment what it would be like if all of a sudden the global medication supply chain of antibiotics just disappeared right before our eyes. Could that happen? Oh, you bet. Most of our medicine in this country is manufactured in places like China. So that's not good. It's certainly suboptimal. So what do you do if all of a sudden you or somebody you love needs antibiotics and there's just aren't any? Well, the answer is you should have a supply on hand in case of disaster. That's the Jace case you can get from Jace Medical. It's a great way to keep yourself prepared for the worst. It's a pack of 5 different courses of antibiotics that you can use to treat a long list of bacterial illnesses. Things like UTIs, respiratory infections, sinus infections, skin infections, all kinds of things. It's a great way to be ready for any kind of shortage that might occur, and it's perfect for traveling. Don't get caught unprepared. Go to Jace Medical. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout. That's promo code PAT at jacemedical.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, Pat, over the weekend there was a video going around. We don't have it here, but where he was walking on to, I believe it was Marine One, and didn't salute. Mm-hmm. And anyway, he's over in England right now. He just walked up on this podium with King Charles and saluted one of the British guards there. It's like, what are you doing? And I don't know what song they're playing right now, but he's got his hand over his heart, so it's probably the British anthem.
It's probably.
I have no idea.
God Save the Queen.
Right, God Save
the Queen, man.
Yeah. This guy.
I bet it is. I can't take it.
So that salute to the British soldier should have gone to the Marine.
Right.
But whatever.
But, of course, did not.
Whatever.
God save the Queen, man.
There it is.
Biden being Biden, right?
Yep. And he's approved sending another $800 million. We talked about this on Friday in aid to Ukraine, including 10,000 cluster bombs.
Oh, God.
10,000. And we're running out of ammunition, huh? All right, well, let's send them 10,000 cluster bombs then. Perfect.
We don't have the regular ones anymore. Send them the ones that 120 countries have outlawed. Do that one.
Wow.
Sweet Lord, this is gonna escalate bad.
Here's an explanation from the UK Telegraph on what cluster bombs are and what they do exactly.
Cluster munitions are conventional weapons designed to disperse a number of smaller explosive devices over a wide area. There are 2 big issues with cluster munitions. First, by design, they spread submunitions over a large area, meaning they can, especially if used in built-up areas, injure and kill non-combatants who should be protected from harm even in wartime. Second, like any piece of equipment, there is a failure rate, meaning some cluster bombs will be left on the ground and could explode at any time, particularly if moved by civilians such as farmers working their field or children eager to explore the curious objects left lying around.
Oh, gosh. I mean, this is going to get bad.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, and I think it's 2/3 of NATO nations are against these. Yeah, and 120 nations worldwide
have signed a treaty banning the use of cluster bombs.
What are we doing?
But not us. It was about a year ago when the White House press secretary Jen Psaki was asked about Russia and Putin using them in Ukraine. Here's what Jen Psaki said at the time.
There are reports of illegal cluster bombs and vacuum bombs being used by the Russians. If that's true, what is the next step of this administration, and is there a red line for how much violence will be tolerated against civilians in this manner that's illegal and potentially a war crime?
It would be. I don't have any confirmation of that. We have seen the reports. If that were true, it would potentially be a war crime. Obviously, there are a range of international fora that would assess that. So certainly we would look to that to be a part of that conversation.
Oh, so okay. So we just sent them 10,000 of something that could be considered a war crime.
I forgot how coherent the press secretary used to be.
I know.
For the Biden administration.
I know.
And she's bad.
Yeah.
But compared to what we have now, honestly,
my gosh.
I could totally see a phone call with Zelensky be like, yeah, I'd hate to really reveal all this stuff, Joe. I'm going to need some more cash. And, how about some cluster bombs? I mean,
the worst. they're just bad people.
This president, in my opinion, is being extorted by Ukraine. And
that could be too.
We're paying the price, short term and long term, for this.
Jeez. Lindsey Graham had a tweet that was interesting.
Yeah.
I will be working with Republicans and Democrats in the Senate to pass a resolution urging the admission of Ukraine into NATO. Why? I mean, really?
So they're meeting this week. That's one reason why Biden's over there. And apparently Zelensky has been, pressing the flesh, trying to get NATO membership. But Biden said, I was stunned when he said in that CNN interview, he said, we got to get this war over first before we start talking about Ukraine and NATO. I was like, really? Right. Oh, wow. Stunning that you would say that, old man. But meanwhile, you got Lindsey Graham doing what Zelensky wants.
The best way to prevent future wars and promote peace is to create security guarantees that make aggressor nations think twice before starting wars. Ukrainian NATO membership is vital to the future security of Europe and the world. I believe there is an overwhelming majority of senators supporting this proposition. Oh. Interesting. One of the reasons that started this war was because Ukraine was considering NATO membership. That's one of the things that Putin was trying to head off at the pass. So I don't know if this is a great time for NATO membership for Ukraine. I'm not sure.
Let's not be that first frog.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not be that first frog. Wow.
I don't like this trajectory.
Not at all.
It's really, this past weekend, it really leveled up.
It really kicked into gear.
Sure did.
Wow. Well, gear up. And maybe they'll reinstitute the draft, get our sons and daughters into the military. That'll be great. Fight World War III over in Ukraine. Wouldn't that be wonderful? That'd be great.
Remind me, though, if you could.
And we're out of munitions, by the way, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
For those of us that are just now tuning into the conflict, just remind me, if you would, please, what is the national security interest of the United States, please?
Yeah. As far as Ukraine is concerned?
Yeah, I want to know what is our nation's vital interest there?
In Ukraine.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for you to tell me why.
I think protecting the information that they have about the Biden family that's the critical information.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. We so much stuff to get to, and you will feel proud as an American once we show it to you, because there's just no way around it, really. Not with this administration. First, let me tell you about Family Leadership Summit. Some exciting news for you. This Friday, Blaze Media is teaming up with a family leader to host the first presidential forum of the 2024 primaries. Here's the best part. The forum is going to be moderated by none other than Tucker Carlson. This is going to be his first public event since his departure from Fox. And after Tucker is done asking questions to the candidates, all the important stuff we want to hear about, Glenn will join Tucker on the stage for a special episode of Glenn TV. You don't want to miss this. So get over to blazemediasummit.com right now. Click the Notify Me button so you get an alert when we go live. This is one event that you're going to want to tune in for. Again, that's blazemediasummit.com. So be ready. It should be a great event. Now, to feel proud as an American, I think you're going to love this. Joe Biden and his non-salute to the American Marines and his salute to the English soldiers, if they're even real. I don't know.
The redcoats.
Yeah. I mean, are these even actual soldiers with the big stupid beaver hat or whatever that is?
Beef eaters, yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, so there's that guy. See, that guy saluted him when he got there. But see, there I was going. Nah. I mean,
jeez.
Are you kidding me?
And he's done that multiple times. We've seen that multiple
And that's not even
times.
the one that I saw when we were talking a few minutes ago. I don't know. So he has no problem saluting the military in Britain.
Right.
But play that again, Joe. Walking right by our guys. See? I mean, it's the first thing he does when he gets... Say, hey, look at you. You look official.
Hey,
all right. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
But nah.
But, yeah.
Nah, not worth it.
Jeez. Despicable. Also, his Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, was over in China this past weekend, embarrassing us in every, just like every official in this administration does. Here she is meeting with the vice premier of China.
Yep.
And bowing.
That's
okay.
3 bows. What?
You don't bow to these people.
What in the world?
I can't.
And he wasn't bowing at all. I mean,
no.
The body language of our officials meeting with Chinese officials the last few weeks has been so telling.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had Blinken over there looking like a lost, scared puppy. It's just because he was with Xi.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just... America?
Got it. We have a problem.
I mean, January of 2025 seems, distant future. Like, I can't even imagine it right now.
I know. And it better be somebody new. It better be. Otherwise, we're in real trouble. I mean, we already are, but it gets much worse if he gets a second term. That can't happen. It just can't happen. Over the weekend, Tucker Carlson sat down with Russell Brand on his podcast, and they talked a little bit about January 6th, for one thing.
And that was a tip-off to me. I mean, I had no thought in my head as I watched this happen on television and in the subsequent weeks that U.S. law enforcement or military agencies had anything to do with it. That never crossed my mind. I never thought it was a false flag or anything like that. I'm not a conspiracist by temperament. I never thought that. And then I interviewed the chief of the Capitol Police, Stephen Sund, in an interview that was never aired on Fox, by the way. I was fired before it could air. I'm going to interview him again. But Stephen Sund was the totally non-political, worked for Nancy Pelosi. I mean, this was not some right-wing activist. He was the chief of the Capitol Police on January 6th. And he said, that crowd was filled with federal agents. What? Yes. Well, he would know, of course, because he was in charge of security at the site.
Wow.
So the more time has passed, now it's been...
Oh, okay. Now it's been. Okay, good. That was a tremendous way to end that interview. Now it's been. So he had some interesting things to say. Here he is. Well,
then we got
talking about. Oh, this is the Capitol Hill police chief.
Yeah,
back in March.
Who he was referring to.
Yeah, this is the guy he's talking about, and he talked about the January 6th commission.
The restrictions I had as the chief, and ask yourself why the January 6th committee never requested that I come and publicly testify. Think about that. I'm the chief of the Capitol Police. To have me come down and publicly testify before the January 6th committee, because I think they were concerned. It would begin to show what went on the 6th, what went on the days leading up to the 6th, and what was the involvement of political leadership and their appointees.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. So you take that clip from March where he says, I don't know, January 6th commission didn't want to talk to me. And you combine it with Tucker Carlson saying, this guy told me about all of the federal agents in the crowd. Now you can see why the January 6th commission, who had their script was already laid out. They had the narrative.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it.
Don't interrupt the narrative. Yeah, we're not having this guy up here telling us what really happened.
They don't want to know what really happened. They know what really happened. And so they're doing kabuki theater just to show you their version. That it was just a right-wing QAnon situation.
I'll look forward to Tucker Carlson's interview with Sun when it comes up.
Yeah, that should be really good. Yeah. Have you seen what Governor Greg Abbott has been sending to the border here in Texas?
This was really good.
Yeah, this is good stuff. These are Marine border buoys.
Yeah, look at that.
Being deployed. And
so the thought is, look, if the Texas National Guard puts razor wire on the Texas side of the Rio Grande, then when the immigrants get here, then the Border Patrol can just totally go up and cut the razor wire because they're already on U.S. soil. So Abbott's like, oh, okay, tell you what, we won't let them get to U.S. soil. We'll put these things out in the middle of the Rio Grande. So the thing on the left is just an artist rendering of how it's eventually supposed to look. And judging by the truckloads that you just saw they're sending down, I mean, look, in some places it's already been put in place, and apparently it's really tough to get around those. So I don't, I mean, I would just...
it's just another...
Maybe you swim underneath it, and then...
That's what I was thinking.
Throw me the kid over the top, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Swim underneath, or, I mean, can't you just... You can't climb over the top of those?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's pathetic that
they're really big.
Has to do this.
Yeah, it is.
And not a federal government.
We're not supposed to have to. It's supposed to be protected by the federal government, which it isn't, and hasn't been for a long time, which is why we're in the situation we're in. And it just keeps getting worse. And the amount of people on the terror watch list that have been crossing the border, it's unheard of. They used to say, oh, that doesn't happen. No, there's no terrorists coming across the southern... And, of course, it's always been happening. But it's happening now in numbers that will blow your mind. Hundreds of people that we've encountered. So how many more have crossed that we don't even know about? Yeah. And how many did it take on 9/11? 18. Took 18 people. It doesn't take hundreds of people to cause real problems in this country. So I don't know why we can't get them serious about border protection. They don't care.
There's a show that I listen to on a regular basis. It's called Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah.
And the host often says, if you were trying to destroy this country, what would you do differently?
Sounds like a brilliant question.
I'm not sure.
Brilliant show.
I have an answer to that.
I know.
If you were trying to
seriously, that's one of the big things, and we don't even cover it enough.
Yeah,
I'm sure the border. We could talk about that every single day.
And by the way, don't look now, but the U.S. national debt has increased by $1 trillion since the debt ceiling was suspended. Last month. So again, if you were trying to destroy a nation, what
would you do differently?
Dude,
they're hitting us at every corner, every single corner they possibly can.
Well, the biggest threat, as you know, is climate change.
Oh, yeah, right.
So that's
right. Well, that and white supremacy.
White supremacy.
I mean, between those two things, I'm scared to dedeath. I mean, I barely can leave my house.
What sucks is you have to decide which front you want to battle the most on.
Yeah.
Because that's what Yellen was doing over in China, where she was
battling white supremacy.
No, she was urging China to help with the fight on climate change, and I'm sure China was
just like, what do you mean? They're on the cutting edge. They're on the cutting edge.
That's what Granholm says.
That's what Al Gore said years ago. They're on the cutting edge of environmentalism.
This administration.
It's unbelievable.
Sucks.
Democrats in general and the whole climate change nonsense is just out of control. I was watching some other documentary.
Oh, no, you?
Yeah.
Come on.
I know. It's hard to believe.
Sure is.
And what was it? Oh, it's the most dangerous. It's not really a documentary. It's the 72 most dangerous places on Earth.
Oh, Houston.
Because I couldn't sleep last night, so I'm watching this stupid thing. And about, I'd say 40 to 50% of the dangerous places are dangerous because of climate change.
No, get out of my face.
Climate change, yeah. So I just got disgusted and turned it off.
So were they all in America then?
No, but they're all over the world, Keith. But it's all our fault because we're the biggest offenders, except we're not. But that's what they'll tell you. We're the biggest offenders, not China. China's on the cutting edge of environmentalism. Oh, okay.
How nauseating.
It's pathetic.
I'm not concerned about China.
See? Yeah. And you shouldn't be because they're doing everything really well. Mark Zuckerberg's new Threads app.
Yeah.
Really popular last week. As we mentioned at the top of the show. Some screenshots have been making the rounds, though. Look at this. Here's all the data they gather on you if you're a Threads user.
Look at that. Health and fitness.
Okay.
Financial info, contact info, user content, browsing history, usage data, diagnostics, purchases, location, contact, search history, identifiers, sensitive info, and other data. All may be linked to you there.
And here's what it looks like if you try to follow Donald Trump Jr., for example.
This account has repeatedly posted false information that was reviewed by independent fact checkers or went against our community guidelines.
What if you decide Threads isn't for you? Maybe you want to delete the app.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of people are seeing all this and they're like, it's like basically Twitter. Yeah, so I'm going to delete my account. Oh, no, you're not, because you can always delete individual posts from Threads. But to delete your Threads profile and data, you'll need to delete your Instagram account.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Wow.
So if you chose Mark Zuckerberg, you're getting what should be expected.
Yep. I guess so. I guess so.
Yep.
Maybe we're a little hasty jumping in on the ground floor of Threads.
What do you mean? You're Mr. Threads now.
I know. Maybe we're a tad hasty. Wow. That just sucks.
Yeah. Oh, those are the screenshots. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting. Really, really interesting.
How much time have you been logging on Threads lately, Pat?
Oh, I practically lived there this weekend.
Really? What were you posting? Do you remember?
I don't. I posted so many things.
Yeah.
Show clips mostly.
Show clips mostly?
Yeah, this weekend. Yeah. Oh, we did put up the bingo card as well.
Oh, yeah.
So got that going on Threads as well as Twitter. All right. Man, oh man. You know, it's my prayer that there will come a day when abortion will be abolished completely. Then we'll look back and see the atrocity of what's been done. We're experiencing the impact of abortion in our lives, the breakdown of families, the trauma that comes from a woman being pressured to have an abortion, and the steep decline in morality that justifies this atrocity. So how are we going to respond? Do we stand back and say this too shall pass, or do we rise up and say, I'm going to stand for the innocent? You know, there was a time when we did the former. We stood back and we said, this'll, it's just too contentious. Let's stop talking about it. And that was a huge mistake. As soon as we started talking about it again, things came up, went before the U.S. Supreme Court, and Roe v. Wade was overturned. Preborn stands for the helpless, and because of your generosity, Preborn is able to offer free ultrasounds to women. Once the woman, the expectant mother, hears that heartbeat, the chances of choosing life more than double. And years from now, when your grandchildren ask, what did you do about abortion? You can say, I saved a life through Preborn. I saved many lives. One ultrasound is just $28 to save a life. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat. That's preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. In fact, I might as well go through some of these other. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not going to mention Threads.
You heard the man. Mr.
Right.
Threads is on a hiatus, Chris.
You can also check out our podcast anytime. blazetv.com/Pat and youtube.com/Pat Gray. youtube.com/Pat Gray. Go there. Sign up, rate and review, do all that stuff. Because then more people see it and they'll be subjected to the truth and the fun. We make the apocalypse fun. And I think more people should have that opportunity to have fun while we're being destroyed. Don't you? I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got a great follow-up to a story we had for you last week about Ben & Jerry's. On the 4th of July, they pissed off a lot of Americans. Hey, why? Why do you stupid hillbilly hippies have to do this on the 4th of July? Why?
Yeah.
So anyway, they talked about how we stole America's. It's all on stolen land. It's not. It's not on stolen land. It's on conquered land. Just like every other country on this planet. Why are we the only ones subjected to any kind of consternation as a result of it? Do you think that everybody who is in their country right now was just indigenous to that region? No! We all moved here from, I don't know, presumably North Africa, right? Isn't that where civilization began? Supposedly?
Cradle of civilization.
Cradle of civilization. So then we all spread out and we all took part in conquering land that we wanted. And it is only the United States and Israel that are ever saddled with this, you stole it, you're unoccupied land. Shut up. Jeez. I mean, did we treat the indigenous people well afterward? No, we did not. Broke a lot of treaties, broke a lot of promises, but it's not stolen land, okay? Get over it. Yeah, but what do you expect from these hillbilly hippies? Ben and Jerry.
Hillbilly hippies.
I was looking last week. I thought, okay, I wonder what your home on stolen land looks like.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't find a single photo of either Ben or Jerry's mansions that I'm sure they live in. But this is interesting because is this the chief of the tribe?
Yeah. So last week we were saying,
great.
Hey,
you know what? You give up your land first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, set the example for us, Ben and Jerry.
Yeah.
And we did the research. We did the legwork for them. We said, here is where your headquarters are located.
It was the Algonquins, right?
Here is the tribe whose land you ended up building on.
So Don Stevens, who's the chief of the Nulhagen Band of the Coosac Abenaki Nation, it's a confederacy of Algonquin tribes that formed in and around Vermont in the 1600s, spoke to the New York Post yesterday and expressed an interest in opening a dialogue with Ben and Jerry's regarding returning the land. Nice. I love it. I love it. Stevens argued that if Ben and Jerry were sincere in their support for returning land to Native Americans, then they should reach out to him to see how they can better benefit indigenous people. If you look at the Abenaki traditional way of being, we are place-based people.
Okay.
Before recognized tribes in the state, we were the ones who were in this place, he said. Always interested in reclaiming the stewardship of our lands throughout our traditional territories and providing opportunities to uplift our communities. According to Stevens, the tribe has yet to hear from Ben and Jerry, and the brand has not made a public statement on the issue.
Really? The company isn't saying, hey, let's have that dialogue, right?
Yeah, they're not.
Huh.
Isn't that interesting?
I thought the left likes to have conversations.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
Let's have a conversation. Can I just...
And you brought it up. Mm-hmm. And the guy's just taking you up on your offer.
Seriously.
This should already be a done deal.
This should be done by now.
Yeah.
So I was looking up. I couldn't find, like you said, Ben or Jerry's homes, right?
Yeah.
But I did find the former CEO of the company's home, who a couple years ago sold his 14,000 square foot mansion for $5.5 million in the Rocky Mountain foothills.
Okay, so it's a quaint little place
outside of Boulder, Colorado.
Just 14,000 square feet.
So this guy's name is Perry Odak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Pat, the house has a swimming pool in the foyer.
Oh, jeez.
Look at the stairwell down in the staircase down into the swimming pool.
Oh, man.
Yeah, why don't you just wait here in the foyer? I'll go and get some drinks or something here. Take a swim.
How crazy is that? Oh, yeah, that's a decent looking
You like
place.
that? You like that? I'm trying to...
Yeah, it's a nice little...
Let's see, how many...
shack.
What the hell? Okay. 20,000 acres of conserved space surrounded. Okay. Let's see.
20,000 acres?
Well, it's not. Remember, it's probably government land.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yes.
That's a decent living room right there. That's a good place for watching football.
It is a decent
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, the dining room.
It's got to have a theater room, though, right?
Dining room's
I like
nice.
the dining room.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably seats about 30.
Oh, look at the wine cellar deal.
Yeah, he's a wine fan.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, there's your. That's a gym right there.
That's nice.
You don't even.
No need for a membership.
No need for a membership. The backyard is lovely. Right up against. Look at that.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
So anyway, I wonder if the tribe would consider moving out to Colorado to maybe have some of this. It's a 35-acre Colorado estate. It sold for $5.5 million. So obviously somebody.
And he
else
was just the CEO. He's not Ben or Jerry.
Right.
Oh, these people. By the way, the company has been hit a little bit in the pocketbook because people are a little disgusted with bashing America, especially on the 4th of July. And the parent company has lost $2 billion since his little escapade on Twitter. Now, it's gone from, I think, $131 to $129 billion worth. So, I mean, they're not wondering where their next meal is coming from. But it's a good start.
Sure is.
It's a start. Just like Bud Light, by the way, not even in the top 10 selling beers anymore.
I saw that.
Number one, decade after decade, they are now 14th. 14th. Isn't that amazing? Let's keep it going.
I love it.
Keep it going.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get me a beer.
This is Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Yeah. Welcome. I got a few tweets here. Sasquatch Snoobage tweets. The border is not secure. Oh, maybe you've missed Alejandro Mayorkas's.
The border.
Yeah.
The border is secure.
Okay, so don't forget the border.
The border
is
secure.
Secure. The White House isn't secure, and our elections are not secure. But we are told that the border is secure. Yes, and also the White House, and also the elections. All of those things are secure. Let's see. Nicole Archer 2.0 tweets, "You are the commodity Zuck is selling."
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm. And from Pathead T, one thing I took away from Tucker's interview was the interview Tucker did with the chief of the Capitol Police didn't air before he was fired. Yes.
Well, yeah. So
maybe Fox was trying to head that off? Is
right.
that the implication there?
Right, but he also goes on to say in that tweet that they still have it. Why don't they air it? I mean, Tucker would get big ratings. Let's go. Let's see this.
Right.
I bet it's got a lot of good stuff that people would want to see.
Well, I think it's great. Tucker's going to redo the interview. He probably doesn't have access to the Fox stuff.
No.
They've cut that off.
Yeah.
And so he's got to redo it. And he plans to.
I want more information on this Oath Keepers guy, too, that ended up getting 18 years in prison.
Geez,
didn't go into the Capitol, wasn't armed.
Right.
I
don't know that he did anything wrong at all.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Was he involved in the violence against the police? Did he break a window? What did he do? I've never heard. Yeah. I have never heard. If anybody knows, share it with us, because I have no idea.
And that was Stuart Rhodes, right? That's his name? Yeah, I want to... What is the justification for some of these sentences?
Crazy.
Other
that's
than
nuts.
Just to set examples for...
Yeah, 14 years, 18 years, and when you're going to federal prison, you got to set... What is it? What is the rule? You have to serve... Is it 2/3?
Oh, really? I didn't realize this was a thing.
There's a minimum that you can't just get out in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some kind of law, some kind of rule when you're in federal prison that you serve a good portion of that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to find that here. Let's see.
Right.
Okay. Oh, my word. In federal court, you will have to serve 85% of your sentence.
Okay, it's even more than
if convicted
2/3.
of federal charges. Thus, if your sentence is 10 years, 8.5 at least.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. So if those are federal crimes, and I'm assuming they are, they're going to be there a long time. Long time.
I guess you could get, in theory, right, a pardon.
You could get a pardon from the president.
But that's assuming that you ever have...
yes. You've got to have a Republican in office. You probably have to be Trump. I don't know. Ramaswamy would probably pardon these guys. DeSantis would probably do the same. Probably most of the Republicans would pardon these guys.
But they probably wouldn't do it until after their first term.
Maybe.
So they could get through the next election cycle. So you're at least in there for another 5 years from this point.
That would suck. And there's no reason, I don't know the reason anyway, for the head of the Oath Keepers. I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah, in fact,
18 years is serious.
I was reading where members of the Oath Keepers were actually helping law enforcement out.
Yeah.
On January 6th.
There's video that shows that. Incredible. Incredible.
What a country.
On a lighter note, Kevin Costner's estranged wife is spitting at his offer of $52,000 a month for child support. You can't get by on that. What are you, nuts?
I can't.
Are you crazy? You expect me to get by on $52,000 a month?
$600,000 a year, right? That's Keith. That's quick.
Yeah, that's right around $600,000 a year.
But no, I can't do that.
No. It's a little more than $600,000 a year. But the former handbag designer, who's in the midst of this contentious divorce with Kevin, she claims that her kids need a little bit more than that. $248,000 a month.
What?
$248,000 a month.
Honestly, I would love to see the back of the envelope math that her and her lawyer scribbled out to come to these numbers,
I would too. So she's 49, Costner's 68 now, and she makes $65,000 a month just renting out the beachfront property, and that income alone is more than what he's willing to pay for his 3 underage kids. Wow. That's just, they're making this sound like, it's terrible what he's doing. And maybe, I don't know how much money he makes. It's probably very considerable. But $248,000 a month? Come on now. Come on. Jeez. What is that? That's $3.5 million a year?
Sure.
Something close to that?
Yeah. But I just love the passive income of that beach house they're renting out for $65,000 a month.
That's not bad.
Wow.
I know, that's not bad.
Wow.
That's not bad at all. So if she got the $65,000 plus the $52,000 on top of that, you can't get by on that? Really? That's over $1 million a year.
Why
Can't do
is
it.
Kevin Costner
Sorry.
trying to starve his kids, I don't understand this.
That's a question we should be asking.
These are problems, man. It'd be nice to have.
Yeah, first world.
I don't know. Should I accept the $52,000 a month, or should I hold out for $248,000 a month on top of the $65,000 a month I'm getting for the passive income from the beach house that we're renting, and the income I get from I'm sorry, what'd she sell? Handbags?
Yeah, she sold handbags. She designed them.
I bet that's
probably lucrative.
Probably. You sell one of those, you could probably retire,
Man.
Those things aren't cheap.
No, they're not. The designer ones? Yeah.
What's her name again?
Baumgartner?
Okay.
Christine Baumgartner.
Christine
Baumgartner.
Gartner.
Baumgartner.
What do I look up? Designer handbags. Let's just see if we can find where to buy.
Oh.
Okay, well, where to buy? Let's see, handbag. Just trying to see if there's a price associated anywhere. Let's see here. You can shop directly from our website.
Oh, that's nice.
Apparently, this
convenient.
is
but we don't get a price?
Well, it's a website that the Blaze IT department thinks I shouldn't be going to.
Really?
So I don't know what else they're selling over there. She's got a Pinterest? No, that's not. I don't know, man, but I'm sure that they are.
Well, she and her kids need About $250,000 a month. So fork it over, Kevin. That's agonizing. And supposedly they were like one of the really happy couples in Hollywood.
Oh.
So
tells you everything you need to know about
it does, doesn't
Hollywood, doesn't it?
It sure does. All right, let me tell you about how to get your testosterone back flowing in your life and get the energy back. Get your old self back. Nugenix Total T is offering a complimentary bottle right now when you text 231-231 and enter the keyword unleashed. Choose from, here's what you can do. If you're ready to get back into shape, get some, muscle mass back in your body, get your energy back, because as men, we lose free testosterone when we age. We lose that fire. It's harder to feel alive. It's harder to be as energetic and as active. And it's harder to stay in shape. That's where Nugenix Total T comes in. If you want more energy, more power to fight negative physical effects of aging, Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster with Testofen will help you turn back the clock and re-energize your life. Nugenix is the #1 doctor-recommended testosterone-boosting brand. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle when you text 231-231 and then enter the keyword unleashed. Okay? Do that now. Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. #1 doctor-recommended brand by primary care physicians based on an independent survey conducted by IQVIA in 2022.
Beware. Pat Gray is unleashed.
Oh, boy. All right.
So the handbags.
Yeah.
You found a price?
So I found an article from 2005 in the Denver Post. And at the time, in 2005.
Wow.
She was charging between $275 and basically $1,000. Okay?
All right.
So during the break there, Joe gets into my ear, and what'd you say the cheapest one was right now that you found? $3,500. So she's
oh wow,
she's gone up in price a bit with the Costner name attached to her collection, and of course Bidenflation.
$3,500 per bag.
That's for the cheapies.
Okay,
that's the low end.
What does it go up to?
I don't know. Do you have the most expensive one that you could relay to me, Joe? $8,900. So $3,500 to $8,900. Wow. It's nice. Up a little bit in the last 18 years.
Nice.
From less than $1,000.
Jeez.
Wow.
So those are really the highest of the high end bags.
Yeah.
Right? Because even what's a Gucci bag go for? Can't be much more than $8,900. Can it? Unless I'm just completely naive.
I gotta be
about
honest
handbags.
with you. I don't do a lot of shopping for women's designer handbags.
I don't either. My wife isn't a big handbag person.
Looks like the cheapest Gucci. This is, of course, a big sale going on. $420.
Oh wow!
So
wow,
it does kind of sound like
she's the highest of high end,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Saks Fifth Avenue. Hang on. Scroll. There's a 2,600, 2,400, 1,100. These are all Gucci bags that come up here on the Saks Fifth Avenue website. I don't know, man. I don't know. But just make sure that you're not trying to get me to go away for $52,000 a month in child support. I'm going to need the $248,000.
Right.
I mean, what in the world?
Crazy.
We
it's a
can't
crazy
even
world.
Identify with this kind of problem.
It's amazing. Speaking of all this money, the IRS is changing some rules now on irrevocable trusts because they're not getting enough inheritance money out of people. So when people die, they're not getting enough of that cash because people are putting some of their wealth into these irrevocable trusts for their children so that it's protected from the IRS. But now they've quietly changed the rules on taxes on inheritance, putting Americans in danger of being caught if they try to transfer assets to their children. The agency has curbed the tax break on a particular kind of trust, often used to minimize estate taxes. And again, this is the most immoral of all taxes. Why does the government think they deserve half of what you've made during the course of your lifetime when they taxed everything you made during your lifetime already? Now, when you die, they get half of it? Well, that's probably I think that's over $1 million if you have more than $1 million. But, I mean,
regardless,
many people do. It's still immoral.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $1 million.
Right. Let's say it's 30% of what you own. That they don't deserve that. They don't deserve any of it. Jeez. In the last decade, more families have begun utilizing irrevocable trusts that allow Americans to protect their assets and avoid a lengthy probate process once a relative dies. Prior to the new instruction, it was unclear what the tax policies were around assets passing to beneficiaries through these trusts. But fortunately, the IRS has made that clear now, and you're going to be taxed on these too. So congratulations. That's just pathetic. And apparently this is what they needed, some of those 87,000 new agents for, so they could track down your estate and take it from you.
Yeah, I mean,
once you die.
Vladimir Zelensky demands it.
Yeah, that's right. God, this is just, I mean, they get you when you're coming, they get you when you're going, they get you when you're breathing, they get you when you're not breathing. If you drive a car, they'll tax the street, tax your seat, tax the heat, and of course they do that. Yep. I mean, the Beatles said it really well. What was that, 66 or so?
Yeah.
And at the time, I believe the going rate in Great Britain was 90%, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think they took like 90% of what the Beatles made, which is why several of them moved.
Yeah, I got to thinking of that. U2, I don't know, probably a decade or so ago, got a bunch of crap for moving their base of operations out of Dublin because their tax base was so high there, or the tax rate was so high there. Forgot where they went to. But the left just was like, oh my gosh, you're avoiding taxes, Bono and company. And, yeah, right. So then I got to thinking about this Las Vegas little adventure that they're on September through December and probably beyond. But right now, tickets are just for sale through the end of the year.
Oh, are they doing it in residence?
It's got to be. It's got to be. Because they're smart enough to know that in that state, there is no income tax. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Think of how much money they'll be making in the state of Nevada,
A lot.
not paying a state income tax, where if they were touring, right? I mean, we've gone through this before. When you go and work, even if it's just for one day, you got to file for that state. When you just are right there in Vegas, don't even have to file any state tax.
That's nice.
Smart move.
Yeah. And there's a lot of money to be made once you set up a residency in one of those hotels in Vegas. Hotels or casinos or whatever, wherever you play.
Well, how does that work, though? Let's say you're a foreign band. Do you have to pay income tax for each concert venue if you're not an American citizen? How does that work?
I don't know.
I wonder how that works, though, now that I think it through.
But they're starting a concert series there in November, you said?
Yeah, remember we had the Sphere last week.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in
they're going to
September through December.
Wow.
So
can you imagine what those tickets are going to go for?
I've already been imagining.
Cow.
I've already been. I keep getting an alert that says your tickets are still available. I know. I'm not ready to hit purchase. Back off.
Are they a lot?
Oh yeah, they were. The most expensive are down on the floor. I'm too old to stand during an entire concert, which you're going to end up doing anyway. I got it, but I don't want to stand there in a sea of people.
Yeah.
And so those were, I don't know. I think those were 500 and something. I don't know, or 600 and something.
Okay. Well, I mean that's expensive, but I thought they might even be more than that.
So the cheapest ones that I was looking at were way up in the balcony, like the fourth section in the corner, and those were $169. Those were the cheap. The nosebleeds for U2 and the Sphere were $169.
Oh, they're going to make a fortune. They're going to make a fortune. I was reading that Taylor Swift with her concert tour is expected to make at least $300 million this year, and it could go as high as $1 billion this year. That's not bad.
That's not bad. Tell me, what is it about a Taylor Swift show?
I don't know. But people love it.
Is it the greatest adventure ever?
They love her so much. I mean, they are out of their skulls over Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And you dare not say anything bad about her. Otherwise, they're going to come down on you like a ton of bricks.
That'll get you canceled.
Yeah, it will. It will get you canceled.
Don't cross a Swiftie.
Oh, I think you're going to like this story, Keith. The CDC has admitted to changing some codes to omit vaccination-related deaths. So we got that going for us now.
Oh, boy.
CDC's explanation for leaving certain diagnosis codes off Minnesota death certificates that cite COVID-19 vaccines as a cause of death, allegedly hiding vaccine injuries in federal records, shows intent to deceive, according to a person who helped analyze the death certificates for the Brownstone Institute, a think tank that challenges the scientific basis for COVID, conventional wisdom, and policy. John Bedoin Sr., who is suing Massachusetts for submitting fraudulent death certificates to the feds, falsely labeling COVID as a cause of death, says the CDC spokesperson Christine Nordland's comments on the matter will be incorporated in an affidavit to petition for a grand jury investigation of the CDC in its home of Georgia. Finally, somebody's going to try to get to the bottom of what's going on with the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously there's been more than 9 deaths attributed to COVID-19 vaccines.
Well, there was a Lancet study that suggested that it was over 300 autopsies that were performed, and they concluded that 74% of those deaths were caused by the vaccine.
Oh, wow.
In this particular study.
Jeez.
And then within 24 hours, that study had been removed. So.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting, right?
Yeah. They're going to try to keep this from us forever. They're trying desperately to keep this from us.
Pat, there was another thing over the weekend that showed that turbo cancers in mice exploded when they got the vaccine. And they studied just a few mice, and they were like, yeah, I think we're done studying the mice here. Let's just keep moving. This is evil. I mean, the word evil doesn't even apply anymore, man. That doesn't do a good enough job. This is insanity. But be sure to roll up your sleeves this fall. It sounds like there's going to be a flu shot that's going to also cover COVID and RSV.
Oh, okay.
Going to put all that into one concoction. You be sure to do that.
I represent science.
Right, I swear. If you're listening and you agree to this for you or your kids to get a flu, COVID, RSV shot rolled into one,
just say no. Just say no. I mean, listen to this. The New York Times found up. This is how deceitful they've been. Mm-hmm. The New York Times found up to 90% of COVID positive tests officially recorded in Massachusetts, New York, and Nevada in the summer of 2020 were based on SARS-CoV-2 viral loads too small to even be infectious. So these people were not sick. They didn't really have the disease. I mean, we carry crap around us inside of us all the time. The viral load has to be sufficient to make you sick. And 90% didn't? That's incredible. I mean, that's just incredible. So they blew this thing completely out of proportion. And then they attributed deaths to COVID that weren't from COVID-19. We've known that for a long time. I mean, the motorcycle accident, for instance.
Right.
That's one of the famous examples. But there were many, many of them. And now they're doing the same thing with the vaccine. They know what's happening, and they're just redoing the code on the death certificate so that you don't see it. And nobody can say, well, What about all these people that have died from the vaccine? What do you mean nobody's died from it? Yeah, nine people. 9. Really? 9 people? Come on now. Okay.
Yeah. And there's a video circulating now from, I believe it was December 2nd of 2019, just on the eve of the COVID outbreak, where I believe it was the WHO. I forget who it was exactly, but all of these experts were saying, yeah, vaccines, they're not generally, there's issues with vaccines in general. Like, we got some issues with the health concerns, the safety concerns of vaccines. And that, of course, any kind of concern was put to rest immediately after that, because we got to get shots in arms to stop COVID.
Right.
I do have good news for you. And on good news? Mm-hmm. You know how the Dutch farmers have been pushing back in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Yeah, that government just collapsed with all the pressure there. And they're having a clean house. The prime minister resigned. The cabinet gone.
Wow.
Good. Stand up against these Klaus Schwab types.
Yep. All right. We've got overtime coming up. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.